Uh, Thank you, Mohammed. And we will also be recording. Please let us know if you're not comfortable. Let us know through chat or through in the private messages. So we're really excited to start shortly, and please feel free to uh, tell us about yourself and where you're coming from.
I guess I will start off to get everybody chatting. My name is Melissa Whaling, and I am the Executive Director of Pegasus Institute. I am not a healthcare provider, as many of you are, but I do have a master's in health geography and experience in the community health field. I worked in East Africa for a number of years, about 8 years on and off, and I worked at Regional HIV/AIDS Connection in London, Ontario, as well as the Office of Global Health at Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry in London. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you all for being here today. My name is Mohammed. I'm the founder and CEO of Baytech. We are behind the Pegasus and the IEHP project when it comes to any IT needs. So I would like to welcome you all to this webinar. And appreciate you all being here. This is a great opportunity for all of us to get together and learn more about the networking opportunities. And as Saida mentioned, this session will be recorded, so we appreciate that. And we will be taking some screenshots as well for our promotions.
I'd like to say hello to everybody. My name is Don Sutherland, and I apologize for breaking in, but I'm going to have to leave because I have actually achieved getting an appointment with a real doctor. So I'm going to have to buzz off. But I have extensive experience in multiple countries doing global health, as some of you know, and so I'm very pleased to be listening in and hearing about everyone's perspective here. And I live on an island, so sometimes my video goes off unexpectedly, so I will apologize in advance.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time today.
I can go next. So I'm Sahar Zoni. I'm the manager for the National Newcomer Navigation Network, and or for short, it's N4. And my background is I'm an internationally trained physician. So I'm an assistant professor of pediatric nephrology at the University of Alexandria in Egypt, and then I worked in the UK, and then came to Canada, and went through the journey. Hopefully, we'll be able to support many of you today. So went through the journey of certification and all that. And then I decided I'll do a master's in health administration and management. And that's how I am now working on this project, co-founder of this project, the National Newcomer Navigation Network. So really looking forward to meeting you all today and for our discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Sahar. It is really a pleasure for us to have you here. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Sahar. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go next. My name is Mejdi. I'm based in Ottawa. I work for the Career Transition for International Health Professionals. We operate in Ontario. Our program, it's a partnership between two organizations, World Skills and CCI, the Catholic Center for Immigrants, and we are funded by the government of Ontario. Well, it's I traveled a lot. I don't know if Canada is my last stop or not.
Yeah.
But I've been working with students, with refugees and newcomers in different countries. And I am so glad to see all of you and have this opportunity to learn from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michi. We really look forward to hearing from you today and from your wealth of experience. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Majdi, for being here. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Dwight Baker. I'm also an internationally educated healthcare professional with a background in pharmacy and education. I also have graduate training in public health and business administration, and currently I work part-time as a lecturer as well. All of that's done virtually. I'm looking forward to a really exciting evening, considering the wealth of experiences and skills that are coming into this forum this evening. So thank you all for joining. And I really appreciate, of course, being a part of this group.
Thank you, Dwight. Janet, would you like to introduce yourself? I'm so sorry to put you on spot.
Oh, sure. Well, thank you for the opportunity. And it's really exciting meeting so many of you with such a diverse background and so extremely talented in all of your fields. I'm Janet D'Souza, and I am a former internationally educated health professional. I trained in as a physician, and I was just completing 1 year of obstetrics and gynecology when I moved to Canada. I redid my medical career here. In other words, I wrote all the prerequisite exams, went through a residency program in family medicine, trained thereafter for a few years in dermatology, and have an active practice in what is called a focus designation in dermatology. As well, I've taken the opportunity to continue training, and I am currently pursuing a Master of Public Health degree at the University of Western Ontario, and that's at London. I'm really excited to be meeting all of you today, and thank you again for welcoming me here today.
Thank you so much, Janet, for being here. That's a great opportunity for all of us to learn.
Thank you, everyone, for coming here today. Oh,
Yeah.
Randa, I'm so sorry.
Just
Please go ahead.
lastly, I will introduce myself quickly. So my name is Renda. I am internationally educated health care physician from Syria. Currently, I am incoming family medicine resident at Western University in London. So, Janet, maybe I will meet you sometime there.
That would be lovely.
And I am program assistant with Pegasus Institute. I'm looking forward to listen to all of you and listen from other participants as well, and build a networking that might be helpful for everyone in their future career. So welcome everyone, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Randa, and a big congratulations to you.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Randa.
Yeah.
That was exciting
Thank you
news.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So thank you, everyone, for coming here today, and I would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone here. So today's webinar is on networking for success, designed specifically for internationally educated health professionals in Canada. So I am myself, Saida Azam. I am an internationally educated health professional as well from India. I'm currently a project coordinator at Pegasus Institute. I'm also pursuing my Master of Public Health program at University of Waterloo. And I will be your host today for today's session. And we are really honored to have each and every one of you here today with us. And we're really excited about the opportunity and to explore together, mainly in the world of professional networking, which is something that we all need. So before I start, I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge the land from which we are hosting this event. We are currently in Waterloo, and we recognize that we live and work on the land of Haldimand, traditional territory of the Neutral, Anishinaabe, and Haudenosaunee peoples. We extend our respect to these communities and any other Indigenous peoples who call this land home, acknowledging their enduring presence and the deep-rooted histories in this land. Mohammed, will it be possible for you to present the PowerPoint so that I can walk through the agenda? We'll have our brief icebreaker session, and Dwight, our mentorship program coordinator, will be facilitating that. And following that, we have our esteemed facilitators, Mejdi Kushi, Jana De Souza, and Sahar Zahini, who are experienced professionals and have navigated the complexities of networking in the healthcare industry. So they will share their strategies, tips, and their personal journeys too to help us all discover new opportunities and develop meaningful connections in our field. And after that, we will have a short break, and then we will go back again with and go through a mini case study exploring some the steps one of our fellow IEHPs have taken towards career advancement in Canada. We eagerly invite you and your insights and the lessons learned that could benefit our journey. And following that, we will have a discussion session, and we are really looking forward to it. I would like to encourage everyone to actively participate in the discussion and even throughout the session here today. And please feel free to use the chat option to ask any questions, and feel free to ask questions through the video and mic as well. And also share your lessons learned and all that. And your engagement is very important for us here, and it will definitely enrich our session today. And it will provide us all with valuable perspectives. So thank you once again for joining us. And now I'll pass the stage over to Dwight. So sorry for the icebreaker.
Yeah, Dwight, just before Dwight starts, I would like to apologize. Today we thought that we will be having an AI translation to translate to different languages, including French, but due to technical difficulties, it's not coming through. So we apologize for that. We hope for next session we will have translations available to other languages. Dwight?
Okay.
Thank you, Mohammed.
All right, thank you for that. Mohammed, could you go to the icebreaker slide? Okay, thank you. All right, now, again, welcome. I'm Dwight Baker, and I am the mentorship coordinator with Pegasus. Now, this is not really an examination, let me say that, so don't be too critical about the activity. As internationally educated healthcare professionals, you have a wealth of experience and are most poised to contribute to cultural diversity and value in knowledge sharing. Now, on your screen, you will see some instructions. I'm going to ask you to, from any device, go to menti.com and type the access code that you're seeing on the screen now. Now, you'll also see a QR code coming up shortly as well on screen. You can scan the QR code as well. Now, I'm going to ask that you keep it as short as possible. Type your country of origin and your area of expertise and one interesting and unique medical practice or traditional remedy or cultural belief related to health that is practiced in your country of origin. Now, let's go.
Let us know if anyone having an issue going to menti.com and then accessing the entering the access code. Now, do you want to just share your screen to see the results live?
Yes, I will do that.
Okay.
In just one moment, let me move this bar. So you should be seeing my screen.
I will just stop mine. I will just stop mine so you're able to see yours. Yes, we can see your screen. Thank you, Dwight.
Okay, and you have on screen here, the access code is still at the top of the screen. Let me go. If you want to scan the QR code as well, you should be able to scan the QR code from your screen.
Yes, if you want to just open your phone and then just open the camera and point it towards this QR code, a link will pop up to just press on it, and then you will be headed to the menti.com with the questions. Please let us know if anyone has an issue accessing it.
Yeah, so currently when I'm going to the menti.com and entering the access code, it still shows the page. Is that how it works?
Yes, so you should be seeing this amount of information there.
Yes. Now it should change.
And somebody started contributing already. Wow, that's excellent.
Okay, that's nice.
All right, so the code is still at the top of the screen. And you just need to type menti.com in your search browser and enter the code. All right, so I'm seeing a contribution here from Janet, and she's saying that she's from Goa, India, and she has expertise in family medicine, dermatology, and public health, and the unique medical practice is to honor and respect all ideologies and practices. Okay, thank you. Egypt, pediatric nephrology. We only have transplantation from live donors. Okay, wow, interesting. All right, and I am, okay, I'm very poor with pronouncing the names, so I'm gonna skip that for a little bit, please. I apologize for it. And okay, good.
Because she's my client, that's why.
Okay, very good. Now, can you tell me about your interesting medical practice or cultural belief? Anwari?
You are muted, Zuleika.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to join in this forum. So I introduce myself briefly and my cultural brief you mentioned.
Or something related to health.
So I'm a public health specialist. Of course, I believe that if we treat public, it means like we bring health to all people, and it's most cheaper than providing or treating individuals. So this is the things that I can say about my belief on public health. I hope I answer your question.
Okay, Anwari, I'm not sure. For the rest of the persons who are within the audience, would you like some clarity from Anwari where that is concerned? There are some very interesting contributions that we have here as well. Okay, for Jolsna, I don't know if you would like to tell us about this whole Ayurvedic medicine.
Hi. Hi, Dwight.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Mohammed. I'm from Kerala, India. There mostly people use Ayurvedic medicine for chronic diseases like rheumatoid arthritis or some kind of joint diseases, osteoarthritis. So people believe that whatever is taken from plants or plant herbal origin do not have adverse effects as that of allopathic medicine. That's a general belief, but the studies are actually limited in Ayurvedic medicine. It's a crude medicine.
Okay, wow. All right, good. Thank you for that contribution, Jolsna. Now, I'm seeing quite a bit here. Is there anyone that, well, you haven't typed a response into the platform and you would like to open your microphone and tell us about your experience and, of course, your country of origin? Anyone else would like to share? I'm also seeing here, I'm from, okay, Syria. And with a background in obstetrics and gynecology, and one cultural medical practice in Syria is cupping. Could you tell us about that, Randa?
Yeah, sure, I do.
Okay.
So the cupping is very popular in the Middle East area, and it's a traditional medical practice that have been practiced a very long time ago. I think it's also practiced in China as well. I'm not sure about that 100%, but it's all about like placing heated cups on some parts of the body, the chest and the back. And I'm not sure 100% how it's done, but it is believed that it improves the blood flow in the body, and it reduces the inflammatory processes in the body. And people, like, it has a specific time of the year in our region. They have, I don't remember exactly the time, but it has a specific time of the year where people pursue to do the cupping. So this is something interesting about traditional medical practice in Syria. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that mouthful contribution. All right, so we have some very exciting ones here. Was someone saying something? You can go ahead. Did someone else want to share? Okay. All right. So thank you very much for those contributions. And as you can see as well from the screen, we do have a wealth of different practices that you can see, and coming from a variety of countries across the world. All right. So here we are in this platform where, of course, we'll be sharing all of these cultural practices, all of these knowledge to, of course, add value to the entire process and enrich it. All right, thank you so much. Back to you, Saida.
Thank you so much, Troy. And I completely agree with you. There is a lot of diversity in the types of practices that is unique to each country, and it is really interesting to see them. And somehow we use them all in our day-to-day lives as well. So it's really nice to see those. So now I think I'll pass the stage on to Melissa. She is our executive director at Pegasus Institute, and she will be talking about the institute and what we're doing here. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Saida. Again, I'd like to warmly welcome everybody and thank you for joining us this evening. Again, my name is Melissa Whaling, Executive Director of Pegasus Institute. Just to tell you a little bit more about Pegasus Institute and who we are and what we do very briefly before we go on with the rest of the program. So we're a charitable organization that seeks to build an effective collaborative network that promotes the interconnection of peace, environmental sustainability, and health for all. So the organization was officially incorporated in 2020 as a nonprofit organization. And it was originally developed from a well-attended and high-interest biannual conference under the same name, Pegasus. So it was called the Pegasus Conference. That started in 2012. Our mission at Pegasus Institute is to engage in a collaborative knowledge exchange, network formation, and research activities that address the interconnectedness between peace, environmental sustainability, and health for all. And that's on a global and local scale. So it's those interlinkages that we're really interested in, as these fields of study often stand alone, but are very connected. At the kind of center of this as well is a focus on equity and justice, and that includes health for all. And we seek to highlight the interlinkages related to equity and justice at the same time. And as many of you with us today are highly skilled, very capable, accomplished, internationally educated health professionals, through our programming, we seek to reduce barriers for you and other IEHPs in helping us achieve equitable health for all. And once again, we warmly welcome you. So I'll pass it on to Saida to explain a little bit more about our internationally educated health professionals program through Pegasus. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. So I will be talking briefly about the IEHP program, which is Internationally Educated Health Professionals Program, supported by the Canadian Medical Foundation. So central to our approach is to completely co-create with IEHPs themselves through focus group discussions, consultations, feedbacks, and surveys like the ones that we will be launching today after the webinar. So this approach has helped us identify the real needs and also gather insights from IEHPs, making our program truly by and for IEHPs. So at the forefront of our resources is the internationalhealthprofessionals.ca, the website portal that you can see on the left side of the presentation. We will be sharing the website address in the chat as well. And this platform serves as a first-stop shop, guiding IEHPs through the complexities of integrating into the Canadian healthcare system, offering navigational support and connecting them to the community resources that are tailored to their specific pathways. We did have a soft launch recently, and we also request you to please stay tuned for our official launch soon. And then about the mentorship program, it includes both one-on-one mentorship sessions and group formats like the webinar that we have today. They're designed to support IEHPs in assisting them to navigate the pathways to licensure and also to the alternative pathways. By matching IEHPs with mentors, we facilitate meaningful connections and learning opportunities. We are actively working with national partners and stakeholders to build an extensive programming suite that addresses the unique challenges faced by IEHPs. This includes knowledge exchange, support, and networking opportunities that aim to ease the transition into the Canadian healthcare system, and also to explore alternative career pathways. Again, thank you everyone for joining us today, and we really look forward to your active participation and also to your feedback to continue shaping this program that truly reflects the needs of IEHPs here. Thank you so much. And I think we can move on to our discussion session from our facilitators, where they can share their strategies and tips. And once again, a very, very, very warm welcome to all our facilitators, Meshdi, Janet, and Sahar. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We will be sharing their bios with you in the chat for you to have a complete picture of their extensive knowledge and experiences. First, I would like to introduce Meshdi to come and share some tips with us. Meshdi is a critical thinking instructor who has empowered individuals to think critically, question assumptions, and navigate complexities with clarity and confidence. And like you mentioned, he has traveled everywhere and he has a wealth of experience and knowledge to share with us. He has also been an employment counselor, assisting individuals from diverse backgrounds in their journey towards meaningful employment and economic independence. So we are really looking forward to hearing from you, Meshdi. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was hoping that Sahar and Janet start first, ladies first, always. Okay. So since the topic is really broad, so I'm just going to talk about the practice that we actually encourage our clients at the career transition program to do. So basically, it's one of the workshops that we provide. It's about LinkedIn profile, and that's the beginning. So many of our clients, when they come, it's LinkedIn. Maybe it's like it's not popular. They don't use it much, or if maybe they have, but they don't really actively use it. So the first thing we do after introducing the importance of it, we encourage them to have a very powerful LinkedIn profile, a very powerful online presence. So the beginning of that powerful LinkedIn profile, we always start, of course, with pictures, and especially when it comes with the title. So the first thing we discuss with our clients is we introduce to them the NOC code, which stands for the National Occupational Classification. And we go to the health sector and specifically show them how to navigate the website in order to come with a job title, okay, that they can use on their LinkedIn profile, and that they start actually wherever they go, they present themselves, they talk about it, okay? Because we know sometimes maybe because like many of them, when they come here, they need a license at the beginning, and since they don't have it at the beginning, so that's why we suggest them to start with something else, something that is close or something that they want to pursue. So that is the beginning of it, to start with, because when you go to start networking, so the first thing you say, you introduce yourself, okay? You introduce your job title. So this is the first technique that we use. And now the importance of that is because the NOC code website actually gives clients the chance to know about the duties of this job title, and also it gives them the chance to know from this job title, it's to navigate the market, the Canadian healthcare sector, and also the labor market. So these are actually the foundation. Because when you start meeting people, this is what you introduce yourself, this is what you say. So that's in terms of having this powerful LinkedIn profile. Then what we also encourage our clients to do at the beginning is, after they establish that LinkedIn profile, that we as a team of the career transition, we connect with them, okay? So by this chance, they will have access to all our contacts, which most of them are health professionals. And so this is actually the second step, okay? This, first of all, gives them the chance to see how these health professionals market themselves. Also, they get to know their own contacts, and if they are working, so they get to know their employers through the websites. And of course, knowing these websites, they are increasing the number of potential employers. And by seeing when they visit the website of these employers, they can see the volunteering opportunities or even job opportunities that are available, and also any events that these employers have. And also at the same time, because we follow so many organizations that actually work in health. So that again gives our clients another chance to get to know many of these employers, and also they can see who are working there and what do they do, what do they study, their job titles, courses they have taken, and also again they can see whatever opportunities are available on the website of these employers, whether volunteering or work, and also events. Now, the other thing for networking is that the team of the career transition, we actually connected, because we are connected with these different healthcare organizations. So we have access to all the jobs that they are available. So as soon as these jobs are available, they share it with us, and so we share it with our clients. So it's another chance that they get to know about these jobs. The other thing we do about networking, we always invite people who are working at these organizations, whether from like HR department or even health professionals, or even our previous clients who managed to work, to come and meet our clients, explain to them actually what do they do, and what kind of requirements that their jobs need, and also it gives them the chance to connect with these health professionals. So the other thing about networking that we always encourage our clients to do is volunteering. We deal in I don't know about other cities, but in Ottawa we have many what they're called community health centers, and these are nonprofit organizations. They always struggle with funds, so therefore they always look for volunteers. So it's really a good start for our international health professionals, because these organizations, they are looking for health professionals who speak more than one language, actually, because these health community centers actually deal with communities from different backgrounds. So having people with the medical knowledge and the cultural background actually gives these organizations a privilege to have an easier access to these communities. And so it's, and at the same time, this chance gives our international health professionals the chance to first, it's gain the Canadian work experience that many employers, although they don't talk about it, but they are get excited when they see it on the resumes of the applicants. So that's a good chance. Also, they have the chance to network, because when they start volunteering, they will have the chance to build that connection with their colleagues, and also they have the chance, because so many of these organizations, because since they depend on other sources to get the fund, so they always have different activities, and they invite people from professionals from different organizations. So again, these our clients being volunteering at these organizations also will give them access during these events to meet more people. Maybe these people who attend these events, they are not they are not health professionals maybe, but they are very connected. Okay, so that gives our clients, the health international professionals, the chance to meet more people. Now, I could go forever to talk about that. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and give my colleague Sahara and Janet the time, and I believe in the later on at the Q&A we'll have more time to talk about it. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for sharing, Mejdi. Mohammed, I'll just get you to stop screen sharing so we can see and highlight the facilitator maybe when, there we go, when they're talking. Thank you.
Thank you, Mejdi. Thank you, Melissa, for that too. I was also thinking about the same. So thank you, Mejdi. Thank you so much for sharing the tips. I feel that virtual networking is extremely important in this virtual environment where everybody is, even this webinar is happening with you virtually, right? So thank you so much for sharing this tips, and I found it very valuable and informative. Thank you. And next, let us welcome Janet. She is a family physician who is also with a focused practice in dermatology, and she has and always continued to inspire colleagues and IEHPs like myself by guiding, shaping, and motivating them in their own healthcare journey. So her vision extends beyond her clinical practice, and she also aims to influence policy decisions to increase and improve the healthcare workforce capacity and capability. Thank you so much, Janet, and for joining us today. And I really look forward to hearing from you today.
Thank you, Saida. And thank you, Mejdi. I think the value you add to people's lives is so profound and so needed, especially in this very difficult terrain where people are struggling to find their own way. In so many ways, I thank you.
Thanks to you.
So thanks again, Saida, for your lovely introduction and welcome. I would love to be able to share the screen with all of you today as to my specific path in the medical field and how I embarked on my journey in Canada. So my networking ideas, basically I trained as a physician in India, in Goa, and I was doing my first year of obstetrics and gynecology. So for those of you who are familiar or unfamiliar with Goa, this is basically a view of a place that I would visit very often. And what Goa is famous for is its serene beaches, its vibrant nightlife, its azure blue waters, as you can see. And in addition, it's also famous for its Portuguese architecture. Many of these beautiful buildings continue to exist and are in pristine condition. They are located both in rural areas and in the capital city of Goa. They're meticulously maintained. This is a photograph or a few photographs of where I trained in medicine, and it's called the Goa Medical College, which happens to be one of the oldest medical colleges in Asia. So how did I actually come to Canada? Well, when I was in my obstetrical residency, I fell in love with an amazing human being and moved to Canada in the dead of winter, approximately 20 years ago. And it was one of the coldest winters. And on the date that I arrived, it was minus 17 degrees with a real feel of minus 27. So coming from Goa into the cold was quite a dramatic entry, I must admit. Determined to make it here with my husband and not knowing anyone in Canada at the time, I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could. And my husband is a devoted teacher and a patient teacher as well. One of the things that he enjoys is jogging, and no matter what the weather, he's out there. So I tried to be motivated and inspired by him. And although I struggled initially, I managed to get there. So one day, as we were jogging together, we saw a streak of white moving towards us very, very rapidly. My husband was very concerned, believing this to be a wild animal charging towards us in the winter. And he cautioned me to run towards our home, which was in the opposite direction of this moving target. But I, unfortunately, am quite curious by nature. And I was probably also a little confused so early in the morning. So against my husband's advice, I actually started running towards that wild animal or that moving white target in the snow. My husband realized very quickly that I was not right beside him, and he was very concerned. And so he started moving along with me to just drag me away from harm's way. This happened to be the incredible wild animal or wild beast that we were running away from. So that was a very warm welcome on a very cold day. And it so happened that we saw this cuddlesome white puppy who came to want to play with us and to run alongside with us. Somehow this little puppy had escaped from its home, and with the help of the dog collar, we were able to actually identify that he or she belonged to one of the neighboring streets. So we carried this little puppy in our arms, and we started to look for its neighbor, its actual owner. When we were looking for its owner, we happened to run into a large group of people that were looking for this little puppy. And through this little puppy, I came to meet at least 10 different neighbors who also had adorable dogs. So the puppy did not stay a puppy very long and became one of my steadfast friends. But my networking actually started in the snow in the dead of winter. So ironically, you just never know who you're going to meet and under what circumstances, but welcome the opportunity, as I did. I also followed every lead and continue to do so. I make friends by following leads, and I make valuable mentors as well in my own journey. This little puppy that I spoke to you about became one of the highlights of my initial years in Canada. And I bring to you the attention of this story just because each one of those neighbors at the time gave me suggestions as to what they thought I could pursue in order to gain my medical licensure in Canada. Even though they came from diverse backgrounds and completely outside the field of medicine. I took every piece of advice that they gave me very seriously and chased down their suggestions, even those that led to dead ends, I felt came from a very good place. Those intentions were very good. And as mentioned, this started my own networking journey. One of my neighbors suggested that I go to a local minister of parliament from my area in Thornhill, who was very pleasant to deal with and made me a lot of promises as to how they could help. All subsequent phone calls and visits to the MPP led to the standard reply that she was not available and would get back to me, which never actually happened at the time. However, unfazed by that, I continued to pursue other options. Another neighbor suggested that I meet a minister of parliament in different towns and perhaps, lobby for physicians such as myself to have a voice. So one of the MPPs in Brampton came to know me through what Mejdi had talked about, through networking and through community partnerships and volunteering efforts, and actually gave me a letter of reference when I actually did get into the medical profession. Another MPP of Mississauga suggested that I go and take a Kaplan course, which was at the time in Toronto. And through that Kaplan course, I, for the first time in my life in Canada at the time, got to know a lot of other internationally educated healthcare professionals who were also struggling to get into Canada or in the United States and get their licenses accepted. So all of a sudden, I started to actually get to know people that were pursuing careers in the medical field, which was very exciting for me to actually have people to know or to speak to that I otherwise would never have gotten to experience. So it was a very valuable stage in my life. It was a stage of discovery. And when I did get into medicine, my steadfast friend continued to be in my life. In terms of communication, I did not personally use YouTube at the time, but a lot of the people that now apply for jobs have often said that they have found YouTube to be a very helpful resource in terms of giving them ideas as to how they can have access to the most common questions asked during interviews. What I would encourage anyone who is actually going for a medical interview or a job interview is to have an idea as to what you would like to discuss, have a framework, and be genuine. Do not follow a certain pattern that makes it look very robotic or very mechanical. Be genuine and have a list of what you would like to say, the salient points, so that you get your message across and in an effective manner without going on tangents, especially for people who are looking for jobs, whether it be in the medical field, whether it's nursing, whether it's in pharmacy. Always know who your prospective employer is going to be, understand the mission, the values, and the vision that is often listed on company websites. It makes it seem like you are very well researched, that you are genuinely interested to be a part of their organization, and also makes it seem like you have a genuine interest in making a difference as a team player, as a prospective team player. In addition, networking and connections, what I have learned through this journey is that, just as I have mentioned, many times the leads that may be suggested by people are very well intentioned. They may not always get you to the path that you have seen for yourself, but sometimes they may introduce you to paths that have never been traversed and that might actually give you avenues to explore that you never have thought about before. And so my only guidance and tips for networking and connections would be follow every path, even though they may not lead to where you see yourself. They may give you a whole new perspective. And thank the people that have been there for you. Always keep in touch to the best of your ability, because friendships that are made can only grow stronger. And reciprocate and respect the people that have helped you and pass on the good deed whenever you can. I think that has helped me immensely in my career. And lastly, a river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. I encourage all of you to continue persisting in spite of the obstacles that may seem insurmountable. And I have every confidence that you will get to where you deserve and where you want to be. Thank you. Do you have any questions for me? I'm happy to answer any questions, if not now, later as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janet. That was a lovely story and also very, very helpful insights and tips. It's very true. Some of the suggestions that you gave have been extremely helpful, especially connecting with the prospective employees and the people there in the organization and letting them know that you're genuinely interested makes a real impact in the process, in the employment process itself. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with it. Really appreciate it. And we are looking forward to hear more from you during our discussion as well.
Thank you,
thank you, Janet. Yeah. And I think now I'll introduce Sahar. Sahar has, like she has said in her introduction as well, she has a master's and a doctorate degree in pediatrics from Alexandria University in Egypt. She has over 25 years of clinical experience in Egypt and also in the UK. She built upon her experiences from Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario to promote equity for Syrian refugees and to co-design the development of N4. And she now leads the N4 team in reaching their goals to create a national network aimed to improve the experience of newcomers in navigating the Canadian healthcare landscape. So thank you so much, Sahar. It is really an honor to have you here. And again, please take it away.
Thanks a lot, Saida, and really thanks a lot. And I echo everything that Majdi said and Janet said. So thank you very much for sharing and for giving all those tips, Majdi, that are very, very useful for how to introduce yourself and how to make sure that you're capable of properly networking, right? And Janet, for sharing your own story. I come from a very similar city to Gawa. Alexandria is on the sea. My hospital was actually overseeing the Mediterranean Sea. Wow. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful city and beautiful, that breeze of the sea as you're going and you're coming back. So definitely. And I arrived in Canada very similar winter time, and more I was actually on crutches because I had fallen and I broke my tibia and fibula before coming. So I was literally on crutches, and I remember very well my neighbors coming out and saying, "What do you need?" You know what I mean? Like, can you stay home? Can we help? So I was like, I've seen snow before in the UK, but it's nothing similar. Although I lived in Nottingham, which is more in the northern part of England, but still snow fell and it just, it disappeared. But here in Canada, it was astonishing the amount of snow, very slippery. So yeah. But again, as you said, like perseverance and just just taking it one step at a time and just making those relations, I think, and networking is precious. So maybe I'll not talk about, like, that's just a concise summary of who I am, but I think I took this a step further when I thought, okay, I'll do master's in health administration and management at U Ottawa, and then as I was observing, I became part of the Children's Hospital here in Ottawa. I was observing how, it's very difficult for anyone similar to myself coming as a newcomer to navigate the healthcare system and the settlement and the social services, very complicated system. And whenever I spoke with anyone, it was the same, like, no one spoke about it's easy or it's, there is a map on how to navigate it. And it becomes even more complicated, when you're looking for employment and you're looking for career, right? So, and here's where, to Jeanette's, point, lots of advice comes from people. They have the best intentions, but sometimes it's just the information is not there. So one of the drivers, I think, for N4 is really having that accurate information. I was coming from, two systems where it was very clear, rather, in Egypt, it's the steps are clear. And then, going to the UK, it was very similar. But coming to Canada, I was told there are 13 healthcare systems. There are 13 regulators, right? Becoming a physician is a regulated, profession, whatever that meant at that time, right? So, and it wasn't clear, if there are multiple pathways to become a physician or there is only the pathway, which at that time I would use the word popular, was really the residency. So imagine for someone who has, experience subspecialty, subspecialty even, it's hard to ask them to start, from scratch and redo a residency, or at least that was my thought at the time, right? So this lack of maybe clear information about, are there different pathways? Are there multiple pathways? Who are the regulators? Was a very, was a stimulus for me that, kept on, is it really hard to have a national view of how to become a physician in Canada? Is it really hard to share this pre-arrival so that people have an opportunity to make pre-informed decisions? Even, should I come to Canada or should I not? Should I go to another country? You know what I mean? Like, all these questions, right? I think stayed with me. We started N4 way back in 2019, and our idea at that time was to support the professionals who are working in the healthcare and the settlement sectors, help immigrants and refugees as they're coming into Canada to navigate the system. While we were doing this, we were building a network from those organizations in the healthcare system and then the settlement system. And we worked very closely with, Majdi and, of course, the team, at Career Transitions. We moved on from one province to the other. We did a lot of site visits, and then we did a lot of, virtual site visits. So we have formed a network of more than 550 organizations. And this is not just, emails, it's real organizations that we've met with, and they've kindly either participated to the network or they have, been part of the work that we've been doing. And then we got this second mandate, and I can't tell you how excited it was in 2 years ago now, to really look at, why are the internationally educated healthcare professionals not integrated into the system? We jumped to the opportunity as N4, just like Pegasus, and we've been working closely with Pegasus, and I wish we had, as many organizations as Pegasus and ourselves and others work on this, because the healthcare system is really, really, lacking. Access to primary care is a huge issue in Canada now. And we focused our efforts at N4 to look at internationally trained physicians and internationally educated nurses as a start, right? We have been working with Pegasus closely, and we have similar aims that we achieved, I think, which is having this portal. So now we have what we call a hub. Again, information is very important. And we felt that, being informed as an internationally trained physician or internationally educated nurse is very important. And I'll just share with you quickly, I think, tell me when you can see it. Okay. You can see our website, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So on the website, we have created a special vertical for internationally educated healthcare professionals. And in that, you'll see we've developed the pathway for internationally educated nurses, pathway for, and again, as I said, like it was a dream come through to see, there are different pathways. You don't need to do just the residency, right? And the CARMs, there are 4 other pathways, and actually we're developing, we're looking into adding 2 more. And I'm just going to highlight an opportunity maybe for networking. So I think, again, I'm just highlighting those because they are, kind of information that if you're seeking employment or you're thinking of, getting any support, just having that knowledge, right? And having the knowledge about where to, which organizations to connect, I think is very important. And then we have a program that I think is another opportunity for networking. So, to all I've been hearing from you all, knowing about, we come from different cultures, from different countries, and at the end, we need to understand the Canadian culture and the healthcare system in Canada, right? We need to understand the Indigenous people that we're acknowledging, that we are, we are doing a land acknowledgement at the beginning of our meetings, and we really feel that, we're here and we are sharing the land with them. So knowing all this, or to be able to, again, inform our internationally educated healthcare professionals, we partnered with St. Paul University, which is a university here in Ottawa, and we have a program that provides those non-clinical soft skills to our, candidates. We have to date supported 6 cohorts complete this program. So more than 350 internationally educated nurses and internationally trained physicians have completed the program. The good thing about this, it's another good opportunity for them to network, because through the program, they're able to do what we call coaching circles, where they are able to connect and provide peer-to-peer support. And also St. Paul University have started actually, inviting speakers and inviting guests. And I know, Majdi, you're going to be invited tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes.
Yeah,
so excited.
Exactly. So again, another opportunity to network and to network with, organizations, who have been really supporting, internationally educated healthcare professionals over the years. So that's another opportunity for networking. And the other piece is the conversation cafe. So knowing, again, that lots of the information that we are sharing with internationally educated healthcare professionals need maybe, discussions and need further development. We have what we call the conversation cafe, which is an informal 1 hour, opportunity to meet others and meet, speakers and so on that we are hosting every month. It's going to start. We piloted this, and then it's going to start again, in Mayish. And we, again, just, information has been always like, how can we make sure that, in every situation, an internationally educated healthcare professional is really informed. So you'll find here there is a lot of, we want to make sure that they're informed through getting the recent news. So we have the RSS news feed, for example, that they just subscribe and they get the news, to their emails through it. We have a newsletter that we send every month, and it has a lot of links, to volunteer opportunities, as Jeanette was saying, and Majdi, which are very important. We know that, we cannot keep track of every single, employment opportunity or alternative career opportunity. So we just host on the website what we call an employer information, to give that impression, to give that, right information about what employment opportunities could be like. And we're hoping again to expand that. I just want to one other thing that may be an opportunity to do this direct tap in, as Janet was saying, is our member directory. So through the member directory, actually, now we are collecting a lot of information about, when, internationally educated healthcare professionals or others, they join the network. We ask this question: are you an internationally educated healthcare professional? Are you supporting them? And this information gets collected, and by becoming a member, you can easily just, email that person. So through the member directory, you can also network and find, other internationally educated healthcare professionals across Canada, but also other organizations. Maybe you can filter that, and by city, by are you an internationally educated healthcare professional or not, and you can connect and to others who are maybe going through the same journey. I think I'll stop there. So again, multiple opportunities, as Saida shared and Melissa shared. We are here, with those two projects. I think we're trying hard to inform, internationally educated healthcare professionals and make sure they are well supported. And we're very open to any ideas, right? And providing any opportunities for them as they go through this hard but doable path. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sahar, for all the tips and also for sharing the resources. I personally have been using the news feed and some of the resources that are meant for as well, and I've been finding them extremely useful. So thank you so much for all the work and hard work behind these helpful resources. Thank you.
If Saida, I may say something about
Sure.
M4. It's really amazing. Thank you, Sahar, so much. Sahar is usual in our program. After we finish a cohort, finish the workshops, we meet clients individually, and we have something called action plan, where we provide them with so many resources. Now, M4 website, it's part of the resources.
Wow, thank you.
Because it's really amazing. And because I'm also part of the member directory, so I always get the information, and I keep posting them on LinkedIn. It's really amazing.
Thank you
so much. It's a great.
We're really honored. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Majdi, and thank you, Sahar. Thank you, Janet, for sharing your experiences with us. In the interest of time, I was wondering if we could skip the break. But before that, I would also like to thank our Canadian medical foundations with their generous support in developing this program and also the website portal. Without their support, we wouldn't have been able to reach where we are here today. So we would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Canadian Medical Foundations and their support. So, like I mentioned, we will be, I'm so sorry that we will be skipping the short break, but in the interest of time, so we'll just keep moving, and because we're really looking forward to a very enriching discussion session today. And so before going there, like promised, we will be doing a mini case study where we'll go through the steps taken by one of our IEHPs, Sabah Aruj. Unfortunately, she was not able to join us today because of work commitments, but she was really happy to share her story and was interested in getting your suggestions and feedback and anything that can help her move through her career. So she is a physician and a pediatrician from Pakistan who also worked in Saudi Arabia before moving to Canada. Can you click twice, Mohammed? Thank you. And after coming to Canada, she finished, before we used to have a requirement to do MCCEE exam, which got canceled very recently. So she is a good friend of mine because we started the journey together, doing all the exams together. So she did her MCCEE in 2018. The same year, she did her NAC-OSCE as well. She again redid the NAC-OSCE in 2019 to improve her scores. She worked as a medical assistant in a few clinics, first in Woodbridge and then in Brampton. Following that, she also cleared QE1 in 2020. After that, she has been applying for CARMS and Manitoba, the IMG programs and the clinical assistant programs in Alberta and Manitoba, and she's continuing to work as medical assistant in a clinic in Brampton. This has been her journey so far, and we would like to extend the floor to every one of you here, and she is eager to know as well as what kind of networking strategies that she could follow that can help her in her career growth. Janet? I think you are muted.
Sorry. I'm not sure if you're aware, Saida, of whether or not your friend has ever tried the practice ready assessment.
She did. The challenge there was that by the time she moved from Saudi to here, and by the time she finished all her exams, her recency of practice expired. So only recently, like a year ago, she went back to Pakistan to renew her recency of practice and has come back again. So now she will be trying for the practice ready assessments again.
As far as I know, this is a very good time to try again.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think the demographic has changed, the tide has changed in the favor of internationally educated health professionals. And it is a very, in my opinion, a short window, a very short window. So if she's able to seize the opportunity and utilize it to her favor, it's almost like it's a ticking time bomb, isn't it? Because time does fly by, and recency, as you said, is a very important factor of practice. I think she has everything. She has tried every avenue in Ontario. Has she tried any other province?
She has been applying for the clinical assistant programs in provinces like Alberta and also in Manitoba. And she has also been applying for residency programs there in the provinces that she is eligible in, like British Columbia or Manitoba. So so she hasn't been able to go in person to any of the provinces, but she has been trying from Ontario to try and utilize every avenue in all these provinces.
Thank you. If I may just suggest one last thing. Oh, I'm sorry, Sahar. Please go ahead.
Please, no, go ahead. No.
So I do feel that the competition is always highest in Ontario and British Columbia. If she's able to widen her horizon, and this is a very difficult suggestion because I believe, it also depends on family dynamics and your community setting and whether you found and formed established relationships here. So it's easier to say than it is to do. But I do know that when I applied to exams, I wrote the exams in Nova Scotia and in Ontario. I was accepted to both places at the same time, which made it very challenging for me to decide where to go. But I think what made the decision for me was that my husband worked in Ontario. What was more difficult for me personally was that I was actually accepted into active practice in Nova Scotia, whereas in Ontario I had to do a 2-year residency, and then I studied further in dermatology. So it was a very difficult decision, and a decision I made more because of family ties. But if she is able to widen her scope to Manitoba, to New Brunswick, to Saskatchewan, for example, just as examples, she might have a little bit more success over there. And that's just my personal view. I could be very wrong. But thank you, Sahar, for your patience.
No.
Thank you, Janet.
I just have a comment. She's a pediatrician, right? So I'm just curious, because they're looking for family physician postgraduate training, right? So like with her recency of practice, did she go back and did she practice as a family physician?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
I mean, with Pakistan and India, to the best of my knowledge, we do have the flexibility of working as a family physician, even if you specialize in other specialties. So she did do that in Pakistan.
Yeah. The second iteration for the PRA program in Ontario is opening soon. So she can definitely, and we've met with them recently. It's through Touchstone Institute. And they are very flexible in the sense of one of the eligibility criteria is having 2 years of postgraduate training in family medicine. We heard from them that they accepted within the first the first cohort that they took, they accepted 30, and some of them did not have the 2 years. They even accepted 18, but they looked at other training, like other training weighed in towards a postgraduate training. So it just talks to how much Ontario, and because Touchstone is not, the common regulator, right? Like other provinces, I think there is a bit of flexibility there through the PRA program for sure. Yeah. And now that she has the recency of practice in family medicine, she can prove that. I think that would be another route for her for sure.
That's very helpful. Thank you very much, Sahar. This is the beauty of such discussions, is it like the experience of the connections that you have has, will definitely help more people along the way. Thank you very much for sharing that. So now as we move along to the discussion session, I would also like to introduce and congratulate Randa. She's a colleague and friend, and who has been able to get matched into residency for family medicine at Western University. So I would really welcome Randa to speak a few points about her strategies and tips that she was able to follow in securing this really, really hard path.
Thank you so much, Saida. Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity, and I would like to share a little bit of my situation, going around the system. I know that attendants today might be in different stages of their licensing process, so I would like to provide general tips and strategies that I have used during my time in Canada. For my specific situation, I matched through CARNS into family medicine residency. I might touch on some points for this specific thing, but in general, I would say general points that might apply for all internationally educated healthcare professionals, whether physicians or nurses or pharmacists. So first of all, I would like to say that it is really important. It was really important for me personally to get to know and understand the Canadian healthcare system. Because we come from different countries. I come from Syria, and the healthcare system is different there from here. So it took me a while until I could understand how the Canadian healthcare system works, how things work here. So I would strongly recommend Mejdi touched on that as well through volunteering. Any observership opportunities they can find, like just engage into the system in somehow and try to understand the system here, because that will go a long way as you progress through the licensing pathways. The second thing I would like to mention also is building the network, which is this presentation about. And finding, like, surround yourself with people who are seeking the same goal as yours, because it's a tough journey. There are multiple exams, multiple steps you have to go through. So having people around you who are sharing the same interest like you helps keep you motivated. And I personally found that very helpful. I went through some difficult personal times in my life, and I was surrounding myself with people who were doing the exams kept me motivated at times where it was difficult for me. So this is also very important. It was important tip for me. Thirdly, I would like to say seeking advice was the important point in my journey. Like, I took every opportunity to connect with people who went through the same journey and seek advice from them. Last year, I did not match through CARNS. So I literally chased everyone who has matched and who was in my networking. And I just asked them for advice. And I took everything they told me into consideration to improve my application for the next cycle. And I used that to improve the whole application. So this is really important as well. And additionally, I would like to say, maybe it's a long journey. It took me I would say more than 5-6 years to match. So it wasn't an easy time. But I would say I would recommend personally to have a backup plan in mind as you are pursuing your goal through the licensing process. I found that kept me a little bit more calm, more focused, because I know I had other options if things did not go the way I planned to, and that might happen. I'm not saying that it's impossible; it's doable. However, it needs a long time and persistent. And I am sure while taking it one step at a time, connecting with other people, building those networking, getting advice from mentors, from organizations like we have today, like facilitators who provided a very valuable advice. Maybe when I came to Canada, I didn't have these resources, and it took me time to gather all this information. So I believe these resources are really helpful, and it is doable with time and persistent. And this is a little bit about me. I don't want to go into details for CARNS specifically. Maybe we can do that in future mentoring webinars. But I wish everyone all the best, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Randa, for sharing your tips.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are really, really happy for you. Thank you very
Sayeda.
much.
Thank you so much.
I would like to ask any of our participants, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask away, either through the mic, to the video, or through the chat box, whichever way, and our facilitators and everyone here will be very happy to assist. And also, if you have any lessons that you feel that you have gained, which can be helpful to others, please feel free to share them as well. While we're waiting for the questions, I do have one question, if I may ask. and any of you can answer, honestly. So I do understand that we are going to a virtual working environment, but we do meet people in person at times. And I know that elevator pitch is kind of an old idea, but how valuable do you think in the current times, and how important do you think it is?
I'm sorry, Saida, say it again.
This is regarding the elevator pitch. They say, like you meet someone in the elevator, you should be able to sell yourself. But I'm just wondering, with all the virtual technologies that is available to meet a person virtually, how important it is to have an elevator pitch to meet or connect with people in these current times? Janet?
Sorry, Saida, I have to answer this just because
Thank
I
you.
think it's really promoted heavily in universities and in teaching environments. I'm not sure really outside of that, but because I'm doing a master's program, I know that it's heavily promoted by our teachers, especially for new grads who are just getting out of their study hats and now going into the job market. They're expected to have a very well rehearsed elevator pitch. I think it's always important to know how to put your best foot forward, and it always helps to keep it concise, to keep it brief, but to keep it salient and relevant to you. So if you can find an opportunity to meet or connect with the right people, and have a phrase or two that properly defines who you are and what you want to be, I think that in the right circumstances, you can never go wrong. And that elevator pitch is going to change as you evolve in your own learning journey, in your own work environment, in your own volunteering capacity. So keep refining it, but keep it at the back of your hand, because I think it's always important to stick to timelines. People are so busy, and people really don't pay much attention now, especially in our fast-paced environments. So keep it relevant to your context is all I can suggest. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Janet. That was really helpful. I believe, Eva, you raised your hand as well. Thank you so much for coming today. Really appreciate your presence here.
Thank you for doing this, Saida. This was an excellent session to you and Mohammed and the rest of the team at Pegasus. I think it's absolutely wonderful what you've done, and the case studies and the stories are incredibly useful. In response to the elevator pitch, I'd just like to say that we're not in an in-person environment, but there are so many opportunities on Zoom, through webinars, and any kinds of activities, sessions that you participate in, that you're often asked to introduce yourself. You're often asked to, like, you're in a breakout room, people are waiting to chat, nobody has anything to say. So if you have a few words about yourself that are really important and that are meaningful and that could help you establish a connection with somebody, it will help with your networking. So this is something so having said that, I am not an IEHP, but I am a consultant with the Canadian Medical Foundation. I have a long history, career in international health and development. I'm currently working on strategic planning and organizational strengthening in my consulting work. And I really enjoy meeting new people and their new experiences, and learning from them and finding ways that we can connect. So that's my elevator pitch, and it's something that I speak to. Like, it comes up like in different situations, whether they're online or in person. So have a few words ready to prepare for yourselves when you're meeting new people that could help you in your career so that you don't end up talking about your dog or your children when you're in an environment where there's things that are professionally important to you. So just be prepared because you never know when there's an opportunity to network, to expand your network. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Eva. That was like a personal reminder to me as well. Thank you very much for sharing that. Meshdi, I think you had raised your hand as well.
Yeah, I think I'm a big fan of elevator pitch, but maybe it's, the way I think of it, it's more for the person than the other side. It's because it's really gives me the chance to how would I like to introduce myself and what is the pathway that I would like to choose. So it's really good. And, because I know it's always people talk about it like 30 seconds, No, of course not. I don't stick with that, like time wise, but definitely it's a good way for you to know what you want. Because if you are very clear about what you want, then you will help others to know what you want. And that's really opens the window for you, because it's I know people lose interest when they hear others say like different things, or like I'm available, like I can do this and I can do that. Okay, so they know you don't have the passion for a certain thing, but when you are very specific, then they know you are serious and they know what you want and they become interested. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a very helpful tip too. Thank you. I'm trying to develop my elevator pitch, and these are really helpful tips. Thank you very much, everyone. I just would like to know if there are any more questions. I know we are nearing our end time for the session today. I would like to know if there are any questions. Katerina?
Yes, hello everyone. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude for this meeting. It was really amazing. I gained a lot of valuable information, and I even wrote down some tips. Especially Majid speech was very important for me, because right now I'm moving to Ottawa from Montreal, and I'm looking for a job, for volunteer opportunities, and advice to look volunteering opportunities in community healthcare centers. It was really very interesting because I haven't think about this before. Also, I really like Janet's speech. I like the attitude, how she's telling everything. It's like a story, and through this story, you learn more and you gain new tips. And I fully agree with her that we should take all the opportunities. Because like she told about her story with Papi, that through meeting Papi, she met lots of people. I had like something similar, that I went on the Francisation, I learned French, and I also found lots of amazing people who later helped me in the life. So so it touches me too. Yes, and for Sahar, also thank you very much for sharing information about the website, because honestly, I didn't know about the existence of other pathways for healthcare professionals and about this website. So I'm really grateful for an opportunity to be there, and this meeting, it was like a breeze of fresh air for me, because today I was thinking that I lost hope in everything, but no, it is. And I had like a few more questions for Maji, because he told about importance of powerful profile in LinkedIn, and I would like to know more advice, like tips, how to make a powerful profile LinkedIn, what it should include.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Well, definitely, it's a very clear picture about you. That's for sure, and a professional one. Okay, and definitely it's with a background that's related to your profession. Okay, and then the banner. Many people ignore the banner; they always leave it blank. But it really it's a story. You know, it tells about who you are, and which means again, employers would like people who are focused, detail oriented, and know what they want. So by choosing the right picture profile, the background, the banner, okay, it tells much about you, okay, and also the job title. Sometimes you find people have different job titles, and that's very confusing, okay, which means like you don't know what do you want. Okay, but when you have something specific, you could have maybe more than one, but all related. But if they are not related, then you don't give really a good impression. It means you don't have a goal. So it's not a good point for you. And then the about section, okay, again, it tells about your personality, okay, and your experience, which should be relevant, your job title. Because like sometimes you have one job title, but then the about section is completely something different. Okay, it's irrelevant. Again, it tells about your personality. And then definitely the work experience. Work experience is very important. The language is really very important, because that's why I always suggest my clients to go to the Knock Code website and choose your job title, and then look at the job duties. And also then you can also, because when you get the Knock Code, you could go to Job Bank and even get more information about that. Okay, and then being active on LinkedIn, meaning that what organizations you follow, your comments about it. That really shows your enthusiasm, which is very, very important. And also like it's very important when, for example, if knowing your regulatory body, okay, which one is that, and then knowing all the information about it, okay. This means that you are clear, you understand the requirements, the demand of the labor market. So all these tips tell about yourself and encourage employers or whoever is there, okay, this person understands the labor market, they have a very clear goals, and it's more likely open the doors for people. I mean, I could speak forever, but I'm just going to just say these things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Katerina, for raising the question. And it was really nice to hear that you have found this session helpful. And thank you, Meshdi. Thank you again for the helpful tips. We have gone 8 past 6:30. But I also would like to know if there are any questions. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email us, and we will be forwarding it to our facilitators, and we can help you with the responses. And we really would like to thank every one of you who have participated here today and patiently listened to us, and also for your for sharing your questions and for your insights. And for the recording of the session, it will be posted on our website. So please stay tuned to them, and you'll be able to get the recording. And I believe that's a wrap, but it has been an extremely, extremely helpful session for every one of us. And I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all our facilitators here today who took their time, their efforts, and shared their wealth and wealth of experience with all of us here today. I'm sorry I'm not able to see anyone. Okay, now I'm able to see everyone. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It was really, thanks for the invitation. Thanks for giving me the chance to talk about what I'm passionate about and also the chance to meet all these wonderful people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Majdi. And before we sign off, I would also like to mention about a survey that we have developed and which we will be forwarding it to you after the webinar. Please feel free to give your feedback, and following the completion of the survey, we will also be sending a certificate to you. Your feedback really helps us in shaping our program and refining our program. So we really look forward to your feedback. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for taking your time today. It was really an amazing webinar. Thank you so much. I wish you all a great evening ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
And amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to
Thank
seeing
you.
you
Have
all
a good one.
soon.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.